Hi soapy friends, welcome to Wet Soap Wednesday. You know what, let me go ahead and get you all set up on my phone here so I can see the comments as they come in. I am very excited about today's live because we are going to make some awesome purple soap, but we're not going to use any alkanet powder. I've been talking about it. You've seen me do, or you've seen some of these soaps before, but this is a custom request. Now, when this custom order came in, I 50-50, sometimes use alkanet, sometimes use my anti-alkanet powder for my custom request orders. And it just kind of depends on how I feel at the moment. I used up all of my alkanet infusion last week. Then this one came in. I said, oh, I'll just use my anti-alkanet. That'll be perfect. And then I realized she had requested, my customer requested addition of oatmeal and addition of honey. So I'm also adding more dry powder to it. So we're just going to see what goes on, but I think we're adding a lot of stuff to this. But first, for those of you that don't know, let me tell you what the heck my anti-alkanet powder is. And I'm going to go ahead and flip you over so you can look right down and get a better view of what I've got going on here. So this is my anti-alkanet powder. For those of you that have the book, you know my story and my horrible experience with alkanet. It took me like over 2 years of trying to get alkanet to work. Joe Hausler was my super soapy friend and helped me out with that. It was a long, drawn out process for both of us. We were both kind of baffled. And you know, there were a lot of variables that came into play as to why I had issues with alkanet. The quality of the alkanet, quality of the oils, the amount of infusion, of the botanical in the infusion, the amount of the infusion used, the length of the infusion, the strength, everything. I was just doing everything wrong, and it really took a long time to pinpoint what exactly I needed to do for my specific circumstances with alkanet. But in the meantime, I'm like, what the heck? I want a purple soap. How the heck am I going to get a purple soap? And that's when I started thinking about color blending, and that really was the inspiration for the Natural Soap color palette, was to blend colors. So this is my lavender soap that I make. I sell this bar, and it's very, very purple. It is, I hope you, here, let me hold it up a little better for you so you can see that. Yes, it is purple down here. It looks a little brownish, but it's a purple bar soap. It's a lovely purple. It's a great purple. It's a nice lavender purple. And there's no alkanet in it. It's my anti-alkanet powder. It is madder root and charcoal. Set that guy over here, which is the powder I showed you here. The recipe for it is in the book. I do want to show you the photo from the book. So this photo here, these are all the purples that I discuss in the book. And this is a color accurate photographic representation of the soaps when they were first made. So these are cured. This one here is alkanet. All of the others are blends. And I like the other colors. Well, I mean, this one's nice, but I mean, you look at the range of color you can get without using alkanet. These are the samples from the book. I thought I'd pull them out and show you. So these are about 2.5 years old now. And some of them, like this one, the madder root with charcoal, the really dark one, it looks more black. So some of these have faded. I pulled these out. Here's just a slight amount of madder root. Here's a madder root with indigo. And then here's that alkanet, which is looking very gray and faded now. I pulled these out maybe 3 months ago. I don't remember when. And we had some great colors still shining true with them. So it looks like just past, 2.5 years, that's when you're going to start to see your colors fading. I kind of want to get this put away so we can get to making soap. But that's a real quick down and dirty overview of the anti-alkanet powder, why I blended it up and how I use it. I think I feel like you're a little crooked here, so I'm going to straighten you out. But all of that info, it's in the book. All these pictures are in the book. The book is available on Amazon. There's a link in the description for the video that links you over to my website where you can get the digital edition. There's also a link to the paperback edition on that same page, so you can get it either way. I am checking some comments real quick. Hi, Sarah. Hello, everyone that popped in. It is good to see you all. All right, so if anyone has any questions about the anti-alkanet, what I'm doing with it, or anything along those lines, just let me know. But let's go ahead and start soaping. So my biggest concern with the soap today is I'm really worried about it overheating. My oils, I've got everything pre-measured for us. So my oils are sunflower seed oil, olive oil, coconut oil, and shea butters added to this one. Over here on this tray, I have, this was some honey, and I just added some of the warmed oils to it. I'm actually going to add this first and just stick blend that in with the oils. Make sure that gets distributed as well as I can. I'm just giving this an extra stir. So with the honey, and then we also have in here, let me get you a good look in there. You see the pretty color? That's the anti-alkanet powder. Let me give you a real zoom up close view of that. See if it'll focus. Well, you can see the color even if it doesn't want to focus that well. All right, that's the anti-alkanet powder, and then this stuff over here, the little white stuff that I just scooped up, that's just oat flour, so just ground up oats. So the oats and the honey makes for a hot soap. I'm also concerned that the oats and the honey, which makes for a hot soap, which means makes for a dark soap, are really going to mess up my anti-alkanet. So this is an adventure for us all. I think it'll be just fine. These don't come out super dark with the oatmeal and the honey in them, but they do come out darker than my normal base color. I have added let me look at the percentage. Percentage of the oat flour is 1% of the base oils. My purple powder, my anti-alkanet, I'm using 0.8% of my base oils. And then we also have, let's go ahead and add our essential oils. And you know what? Kind of winging this as we go. We're going to put the honey in with the essential oils. I just want some more stuff to mix this up with. That was another thing I'm looking at going, wow, I've got all this water and stuff to go. So with the anti-alkanet, one other thing that I absolutely positively love about it is that it is not an infusion, it's a slurry. So you can make purple on a whim, even if you, like in this case, like just like me, I didn't have any alkanet infused. And I didn't want to wait the week it takes for my hybrid infusion to get it set up. So I'm like, I'm just using my powder. Anything that's just a powder that you can add and use the color, I love, because it makes for easier blending. It's just readier, more readily available for our, oh my gosh, I need to make soap right now moments. And you know we all have those. Okay, so that worked pretty well. This is the essential oils and the honey, just kind of dispersed in there. And I got a little glob of honey on the back of my spoon. I'm not going to put that in. So you get a little more of that to dissolve off. This is only about 1 gram of honey in here. I wanted to keep it light. It does make great bubbles. But again, I'm worried about overheating. So patchouli and lavender were the requested aromas on this one. With the just making sure that honey's dispersed. With the anti-alkanet powder, because it's based on madder root, gelling is a good thing. Heat is your friend for getting really, really great color. So we should get a good color on this if we can keep it from overheating. And one way you can get that color to pop out is, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it today, is I'm going to, after I get this slurry set up, I'm going to add the slurry to the lye water. Wow, you guys are really tipping here. I'm so sorry for that. I'm going to add it to the lye water, the sodium hydroxide, and letting this hit that higher pH will really help the color pop. And I want these to be a nice purple. So let's make our slurry. I'm just going to grab a small rubber spatula. And since we don't have the lye out, I'll check those comments again. And we're still going great there. All right, so to make my slurry, I already have my distilled water measured out. I have all of my ingredients measured out, because those who have joined me in the past know I'm horrible at multitasking, thinking and talking and measuring. Oh my. So here's my slurry. This is oatmeal or oat flour and my anti-alkanet purple powder. That's slurried up quite well, and we're all blended in there. It's another nice thing about adding some of that oats in there. It does help the anti-alkanet slurry up just a little nicer. You can, when you're using oatmeal, you cannot mix it and then let it sit. So I prepared everything else beforehand except for the slurry. I'll let you see, it looks pretty dark in there. I could not pre-mix this slurry, because who here has had oatmeal for breakfast and then left it to sit and then tried to wash it out? No, it's this big gloppy mess. So the mucilage from those oats really thickens things up, so you can't pre-mix this. But only because of the oatmeal. All right, now this is my 1:1 sodium hydroxide solution. So 1 part sodium hydroxide, 1 part water. I'm just going to put that in there. Set this aside. Get this all out of the way over here. And you can start to see some of the purple starting to show. There, see right there? I'm trying to swipe it down. So I'm just going to give this a stir. Things are going pretty well so far. I did not get a huge, nasty, like, heat explosion from the sodium hydroxide with those oats. So it's looking like I measured everything pretty well as far as limiting myself on how much I could add to the recipe, considering everything we have going on now. And I'll hold this up again for you. Look at that lovely maroon color we're getting. Yay, we're getting our purples. Of course, everything will look different tomorrow. I will for sure post an unmolding of this for everyone. I'm going to set these aside over here. I did on my little cafeteria trays here, over here on the other side, I really don't know why you're twisting down like that. I have on my other table right there, that blue pad, I had my TV tray sitting on that. That's my heating pad. It's the one that doesn't turn off. It stays on, which I love. But I had this tray with my honey and everything. I just wanted to keep warm. I had it sitting over there, so it's another way I use those heating pads. I did not think I would like using heating pads so much. I always felt fortunate that I didn't need them before I got these stainless steel tables. But man, they are handy for so many things, not just insulating. Just need a little more warmth, and yeah, so I enjoy them. The heating pads on my cafeteria trays, I think, are my two favorite kind of little oddball soapy tools. And I'm just making sure this is, you know, given that madder root, just a little bit of a chance to hydrate, because the color is water soluble. Oh, you know, this morning in the group, someone posted a soap they had made with madder root, and this is Rubia tinctorium, and it makes lovely pinks, lovely roses, you know, depending on how much you make. But theirs was orange, so I'm not sure if they ended up getting Rubia cardiifolia, which is Indian madder. That does make more burnt oranges with a bit of a maroonish tinge to it. Or if they had done something else, maybe there's essential oils. The full recipe wasn't listed, but it was pretty interesting. So either they did something really, really cool with the madder root, kind of like making an anti-alkanet, but something that went orange. So doing some great blending, or maybe it's essential oils. I don't know, but natural colors are just amazing. Oh, I did make a note. I'm gonna let that sit for just another minute. I did make a note on my phone. I wanted to call someone out, or guess that sounds right. I'm gonna do a little shout out. Oh, alrighty. Has anyone in the group seen the post? A couple posts. April D. Sunshine, and she's working on her color palette and her rainbows, following some of the tips in the book, but OMG, her colors are coming out amazing. Everyone go search the group for her name, April, and D-E-E, 2 words, April and then D-E-E, Sunshine. You're gonna love some of the colors she's coming up with. And I wanted to remind everyone that the color chart that's in the book that tells you what color is, which botanicals are water soluble versus oil soluble, and gives a color range for them, that's a free download. There's been so many questions this week about how to use indigo, how to use alkanet, and really it's just because it's the first time being used, so they're not, the soapers aren't sure if they should add them to water or oil or all that. That color chart's a free download. So if you already know about infusion slurries, decoctions, and all that, you can just get the download. It's a great little cheat sheet. It's also included in the book. If you need more information, such as how to use or create slurries, decoctions, teas, infusions, those are purple. Check it out. Ah, love it. That's when you'll want to get the Extracting Color from Nature Masterclass series. That series, the bundle, the full bundle where you get everything, also comes with a free copy of the book, the digital edition. All right, let's bring this to trace. Woohoo! Here we go. Please behave, please behave. Yeah, you get some, I mean, if the camera was closer down, you could see. Can't really hold this up so well for you. I am getting some speckles on there. That's from the oatmeal. So I've got stained oats basically in here. Some of smaller speckles are going to be from the madder root. Where's that bar? I'll let that sit for a minute. This, as I said, this is the anti-alkanet powder, and there's some, this is like kind of an end cut, so it's not perfectly, you know, smooth as far as the surface texture, but there's no speckles in here. There's nothing like little bits of scratchy madder root. At least nothing that disturbs me if there is anything in there. I don't strain madder root. If you are worried about madder root and you don't, meaning you don't want speckles, yes, you can strain it. I don't. These bigger speckles that we're seeing, that is not the madder root, that's the oats. So those are the ground oat specks. I'm just trying to, I don't want to over stir this. And it's so dark and like it's a dark batter. That always makes it harder for me to tell if I've gotten to emulsion. So if I just give it a second to sit, I just feel better about it. I can still see a little bit of oil separation on the top. So we're just going to hand stir for a minute here. Just double checking, I got everything in here. We had the essential oils, we have the honey. Oh yeah, that looks really good. We have the oats, we have the anti-alkanet. And we do have an, you know, I don't want to get real thick on trays. I am pouring them into my molds here. These are cavity molds. We're going to give it another burst here. This is the double check making sure burst. Oh, I'm very glad I did that. There it went. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's set this aside. That was quick. Oh my gosh. You keep tipping. That was a quick live. Okay, so these are my molds. They are this lovely elephant. Absolutely love them. I did drop in the comments for you. I'm so sorry I don't have a link to where you can purchase these molds because I made them. You can get this shape on Etsy sometimes if you search elephant mold. But it's this horrible plastic, whatever they call those little plastic molds. Will probably work good for melt and pour or something like that. But it's a horrible mold for cold process. It just does not want to release. So what I did was I made a positive. I poured some plaster into the plastic ones. And then I used that in order to make these silicone molds. My sister and I are actually planning on making a tutorial for that. My sister does resin art and she wants to know how I made these too. So yeah, we're probably going to do a little tutorial on that for y'all. I overfilled that one just a smidge. So yeah, it definitely looks like I colored the oatmeal when I poured these, or by mixing the oatmeal, slurring the oats, the anti-alkanet together like that. I definitely colored my oatmeal. It's kind of cool. I really like making this soap. This gal's been ordering for me for a few years, and she always comes up with things like I would never have thought to do that. I would have never put oatmeal and honey in with alkanet or the anti-alkanet, just because when you think of purple as a soap maker, you always think about how challenging it is. Another interesting soap the same customer had me make was she wanted it blue, but she also asked for calendula. And I was like, oh man, calendula is yellow. That is going to go green. I was so worried about it going green. And it was not my usual bright, happy blue from Indigo. It was denim. It looked like it was the perfect denim blue that the fabric industry just knows Indigo for. But we typically don't get that denim blue when we're soaping with it. I'm going to just kind of fix this one that I over poured. Just moving it over here. Some of these kind of got a little bit of an over pour on them. Just kind of even things out. And I think, yeah, everyone else looks pretty good. Awesome! We made some soap. Woohoo! Let me hold one of these up a little closer to you. I'm just going to pick this tray up, if I can, so you can get a little bit of a better, you see on this one over here on the top left, I think that's the best lighting for you, where you can see this oatmeal that got stained from the anti-alkanet. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see what that looks like. I also think it's like, I've got skills. I just lifted that up to a camera and didn't spill it. All right, let me see if anyone has any comments on here. Next week's Wet Soap Wednesday, it is pre-recorded. It's going to be awesome though. It's pre-recorded because it's hot process. So I did skim up a little bit for you, skim through. But I think you're really going to like it. And I will be doing more hot process for you. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you pop in. Hi, Bettina. Courtney, Christina. Hey, Tina. Good to see you all. All right. Well, if anyone has any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to go get my dishes done, and then I will unmold these for you all tomorrow, and we'll take a look at them. I am going to keep an eye on these once they set up, because they're a little jiggly right now. So they'll set up in probably about a half hour, 45 minutes. From that point in time, I'm going to put them on my heating pads so that they will gel. But I can let them set up first so that nothing kind of volcanoes. Because remember, we did put all that honey and oats in there, so we don't want overheating. But all right, and let's see here. Kathy Scott asked, what are the portions of indigo to madder root? There's no indigo in here. It is alkanet root and charcoal. I apologize if I misspoke and said indigo. And the full recipe for the powder is in my book, The Natural Soap Color Palette, right here. You can get the digital edition linked to in the description of this video, and that link also has the link to purchase the book on Amazon if you want the printed copy, but it is available on Amazon and digital copy on the website, but that's where you can get the anti-alkanet blend. And also linked in the description is, if you don't have madder root and the coconut charcoal that I use sitting around, then you can grab, and George has an anti-alkanet soapy starter kit that you can get that has everything you need in order to make the anti-alkanet powder. You're welcome, Kathy. And Mkia said, what does anti-alkanet mean? That's just what I called it because I was so mad at alkanet. I had such a horrible time. I mean, it was literally years of trying to get a purple out of alkanet before I finally got a purple out of alkanet that I said, dang it, I'm just gonna make my own purple, and I called it the anti-alkanet because it made me laugh. That's why I called this purple anti-alkanet. And I think Angelique said beautiful. Thank you. I'm really excited about that colored oatmeal. So these will definitely be a fun unmolding. And okay, and Kia got the answer to your question. All right, I think that's all for us now. Have a fabulous week. Thanks for soaping with me on Wet Soap Wednesday, and update tomorrow on the unmolding of these. And I'll see you next week for hot process. Bye, everyone. Hi, soapy friends. Here we are. It's been about a week later, and these are our soaps. They definitely went grayer than I thought. You can see there's still a really nice purple tinge to them, but they are not, I would not call these purple soaps. I would call these maybe purple steel. Here is the anti-alkanet bar that I showed you when we were making them. This is pretty much the same recipe. There are a few differences. Our elephants have some patchouli essential oil to them, but the main difference here is the oatmeal powder. So this is anti-alkanet without any additives. There is some lavender essential oil in here. There is some shea butter in here. So these two base recipes are the same, but we do have that oatmeal added in our elephants, and just look at what it did. It's still a beautiful color, but I think this is a great example of how everything you add to your soap has color to it and affects the final color of your botanicals and what you might expect to happen. Just to recap, this is what the oatmeal looks like. It is, see if I can get that to focus for you. Maybe not. It's just ground oats. You can buy it as oat flour. You can grind it up yourself. This is not colloidal oats. This is ground up oats, oat flour. And this is the anti-alkanet, which is madder root and charcoal. This recipe is in my book. When you add this to a fairly white soap base, you do get lovely shades of purple. When you add it to a soap base that's darker, such as oatmeal, you're going to get some lovely purple gray colors. So there we go. That is our soapy experiment for Wet Soap Wednesday, all updated. These lovely soaps are going to be shipped off to their new owner, and I hope you enjoyed making some purple soaps with me, and I look forward to hanging out with you for our next Wet Soap Wednesday.